If you're a Filipina and you don't believe in this, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to cut you out. Hey, what is good? What is good? What is good, beautiful people? Of course, you know who I be. Good Doc, Dr. Mike TV, back again, once again. Ladies and gentlemen, you already know what it is. Instant classic in the making. First time to the channel, guys. Subscribe, notify, do all the good things to make yourself well versed in the good Doc's content. Now, a lot of y'all are on my wave. A lot of you guys have become part of the hashtag make it work movement, wherein I talk about, us as men and finding things about certain women that we like, even if we don't like them, in order to hashtag make it work. All right, it's a joke, but it's something that I do believe in. Sometimes us as men have to get out of our own way in reference to always not striving to deal with the top, just the women that are just all the way up here, and rather than sometimes just compromising where compromising needs to be put into consideration. All right. So, like I said, although it's a joke, I kind of have some thoughts on that one that we could probably talk about at a later time. But as I was going through my discography, I wanted to talk to you about some things that I'm not willing to overlook. All right. When it comes to dealing with Filipinas, when it comes to dating Filipinas, hooking up with Filipinas, whatever you say, guys, there are just a certain group of things that I'm not willing to compromise on or overlook. And two things came to mind. The first one is I could hook up with, but I would never date or be with any woman that has an affinity for black men, right? If you just love, obsess, and just desire to want to be with black men, that kind of defeats the purpose for you being with me, because literally the only reason you would probably be with me is because I am of a darker melanin. So I don't really deal with women who have an affinity for black men, and just because you all want to say they all like white, don't get it twisted. There's some women out there that prefer African American men as well, or African men. I'm sorry, but I digress. That's just one of the ones that I'll never really date a woman on based on that premise alone. And another one is I will not hook up with or be with a woman that does not believe in condoms. All right, I can't do it. I can't do it. And it's scary to me in this refuge, because if you guys know, condoms is not a common thing in the Philippines. Condoms is not a common thing in the Philippines. Very rare will you get with a girl and she asks you, do you have protection? Very rarely will you hook up with a Filipina and she asks you, oh, where the condom at, right? Now, women that work in the industry, you know what industry I'm referring to? Yeah. Sometimes they either have their own or, they will ask you, do you have one as well? Because again, they have to protect themselves because they are frequently involved in the act of. And I need not go into details on that one. So it's like, okay, for them, you can understand and understand the rhyme and reason why they would have one, but just your everyday average Filipina, they don't really believe in condoms because that's never been a part of the culture. They've never really been educated on that. I believe sex education needs to be the top priority in the country in reference to education, but that's just something I'm gonna have to try to advocate for myself on my own dime and on my own time. But I want to share with you guys a story, all right? And I'll tell you how I came to the conclusion about how I could never deal with women that don't like condoms or don't use them or don't ask foreigners do they have any, right? All right, so there was this one girl before, it was a prior situation I was in, and I remember one time she got mad at me because I pulled out the condom, right? I'm like, bitch, why you mad for? But she kind of like guilt tripped me into believing that it was my fault. And, oh, how dare you do that? Do you think I'm dirty? Do you think I'm sleeping around with a whole bunch of men? And she took it as a sign of disrespect as opposed to the fact that I'm just trying to protect us from having kids. I mean, granted, I know the doc got a clean bill of health. All right, I know that. And it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with the simple fact that at that time I was super scared of kids, right? I did not want to have no kids at that time, and I was anti-babies. I was scared to have them. I wasn't going to do anything that was going to ruin, my career trajectory, none of the above. So that's why, I always made sure that I was strapped at all times, right? So when she took it as a sign of offense, it really took me back, and it made me realize just how anti-condoms most Filipinas are. Like, how it's just deemed as a disgusting, nasty thing, and only people who are dirty or a part of the industry use them. That's kind of the mindset that I was starting to understand, and I was like, whoa, back up, baby. It ain't that serious. But the fact that it kind of went from 0 to 1,000 based off of the fact that I actually wanted to use protection, it let me further realize any woman that doesn't want to deal with protection of any kind, I can't really rock with, you know? And the reason I say that is this, and it comes from me and my distorted, warped, just fucked up mindset wherein I believe in something called contact tracing, and I kind of just jump the gun on a whole bunch of different things. And let me tell you how my mind thinks so maybe you can understand or at least pick up what I'm putting down. The way I think is like this, all right? Even the most normal Filipinas that you'll come across, the most ordinary, the ones that don't get around a lot, I do believe that if you've had sex before, I'm always going to be skeptical. Why? Because I don't know who you were fucking with before you were fucking with me. Understand that? I don't know if that dude had any venereal diseases. I don't know if he was fucking around on a down low dealing with both men and women. I don't know if this guy was a fucking just sex pad or just getting around and having a whole bunch of girls. I don't know who you were with before me. It has absolutely nothing to do with you, but who you were fucking with before you was fucking with me. Whether that be a foreigner, whether that be a local guy. I don't know who that was. So if we're gonna do something, chances are I gotta strap up. Now, if there was a significant time difference between the time that me and you got together and the time that you were with this other person, and let's say maybe 6 months to a year had passed since the last time you were physical with anybody, I might think a little bit differently, because if you're not showing any signs or symptoms that there may be something wrong with your ass, I might reconsider how I approach the situation. But 9 times out of 10, simply because of the fact I don't know who you were with before me, chances are I'm going to treat you like it's the danger zone. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just trying to say, yo, I don't know who you were with before me. It has absolutely nothing to do with you. It was just who you were fucking with before me. And if you are the type of person that is so anti-condoms, I can only imagine what you were like with this person. I can only imagine the type of behavior you were exhibiting with individuals. And I'm pretty sure that guy probably wasn't worried about condoms, because maybe who knows what kind of relationship y'all had together. Maybe y'all were just one of one, or you were his one and you were one of his many. I don't know. And because of that strict dynamic, I'm skeptical of all women. So if you're going to come at me with the nonsense about not being able to use condoms, or I don't like using condoms because of this, and this, it just lets me further know, look, we can't do anything unless I strap up, period. Because now I'm starting to get skeptical. What if you're just trying to get a baby out of me? What if you just trying to do some stuff? You know, my mind goes 100 different directions. So ladies, Filipinas, I'm telling you, don't come off to a man like that, because that's really going to make you look hella skeptical, at least in my opinion. But for myself, ladies, if you don't believe in condoms, ain't going to be too much more that I probably dead the conversation there, because granted, I believe in the hashtag make it work movement. One thing I can't really advise any foreigner to do is to go into battle without a helmet. All right, I can't advise any foreigner to go into battle without a helmet, no matter how much you think you trust somebody. All right. Granted, not everybody's perfect, and I'm pretty sure a lot of guys have done so. But from this point on, my advisory notice is just make sure that you are protecting yourself at all times. All right. Ladies, again, most of the time it has nothing to do with you, but who you were fucking with before you was fucking with somebody like me. All right? So don't ever take it as a sign of disrespect, but you better strap up when it comes time to it, baby, because, you know, we've really got to do better things for ourselves, and we damn sure have to do better things for the community, because overpopulation is a problem. All right? Overpopulation is a killer in the Philippines, guys. I think that's why China went to the 1 child per household rule, because of overpopulation. It's not a bad idea. Maybe the Philippines should implement that. Anywho. Y'all stay blessed. Y'all stay true, man. It's been a good talk. Y'all take care. Until the next time, man. The good doc is officially out. At least nako paalam, which means I am going now. Bye-bye. As always, love you guys. Sincerely do. Mga kita. Mabuhay. Peace.
what?